Big plans often come with big risks. For Kyle Larson, this could be the biggest gamble of his career. Just when everything seemed perfect, shocking internal concerns have surfaced. And now, Jeff Gordon has spoken. What he said might change everything for Larson and Hendrick Motorsports. Undeniably, one of the most legendary and punishing of motorsport challenges is avowedly called the double, with Kyle Larson attempting something that very few drivers before him have ever dared to. Race both the prestigious Indianapolis 500 and the equally exciting Coca-Cola 600 on the same day, which is about 1,100 miles of racing, split between two of the most prominent tracks in America. A study in concentration, endurance, and precision, the Indy 500 sees open wheels fly up to 220 miles per hour. Hours later, Larson must somehow change gear internally and compete in NASCAR's longest event, the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. It's a race against time, with all elements of endurance, weather forecasts, travel logistics, and mechanical reliability coming into account. There's also the mental fatigue. Switching from one car style to another on the same day is a nightmare, even for seasoned professionals. Rain delays, travel delays, or minor injuries could disrupt everything. And if Larson falters in either race, the fallout will be massive. Despite the glory of pulling off the double, the risks are undeniable. And now, Hendrick Motorsports is feeling the heat, especially when the man overseeing it all, Jeff Gordon, has started asking hard questions. For Kyle Larson, 2025 isn't just another racing season, it's the season. After consistently proving himself as one of NASCAR's elite, Larson has the momentum, the team, and the talent to dominate the field. He's not just driving for wins, he's chasing legacy. Hendrick Motorsports, one of the most powerful names in racing, has invested heavily in Larson. With strong sponsorships, cutting-edge engineering, and a finely tuned crew, expectations are sky high. Fans are watching him closely. Every race he enters draws attention, especially with his decision to cross over into IndyCar. Larson's versatility is part of his allure. But with that comes pressure. Sponsors want results, fans want glory, the team wants championships. And with so much riding on this year, the decision to risk it all on the double has left many, including top brass like Jeff Gordon, wondering if Larson is spreading himself too thin at the worst possible time. If you put it that way, the operations of Hendrick Motorsports become a bit blurry. At the center of the whole system is Jeff Gordon, an esteemed NASCAR persona with whom few can argue. Gordon is an alumnus, and for him, it is not just a personal money-making operation. He has his hand in the mix of the team operation, decisions, and the future. In recent months, it has become clear through the mouth of Gordon that Hendrick is about excellence, about consistency, and about acting with discipline. How can he tolerate such unpredictability when there are several drivers under his watch and millions of dollars at stake? That's exactly what Larson's double stands for: unpredictability, risk, and a distraction from the true work of the Cup Series. Since Gordon has yet to publicly air his views on Larson's decision, it seems to reflect some concern, according to insiders. It is said that there have been meetings within the team to talk about backup plans and logistics and what to do if everything doesn't work out. It's not just about one race, really, but maintaining that culture of winning. Maybe Larson sees this as the way to get himself into the big league, but from Gordon's vantage point, it could become a shredder of the things that the team stands for. It is always tricky balancing ambition with responsibility, and the growing pressure from above must be weighing on Larson as he enters the most intense weekend of his career. Hendrick Motorsports didn't need to say much. Their actions spoke volumes. When they named veteran Justin Allgaier as Kyle Larson's emergency backup for the Coca-Cola 600, fans and insiders took notice. It wasn't just a contingency plan, it was a sign of serious concern. Allgaier, a seasoned Xfinity Series driver with years of experience, is more than capable. He's familiar with the Hendrick setup and performed well when called upon in the past. His presence in Charlotte while Larson races in Indianapolis shows that the team isn't leaving anything to chance. Last year, Allgaier stepped into similar roles and impressed many with his composure and professionalism. This year, he's having a strong run in Xfinity, keeping him race-ready and sharp. But having him waiting in the wings also sends a subtle message. Hendrick is preparing for the worst, and that kind of backup planning only fuels speculation that not everyone believes Larson's double-duty mission is a good idea. And the management at Hendrick Motorsports is not merely supporting a driver, they are supporting a high-stakes gamble. Letting Larson pursue both the Indy 500 and Coca-Cola 600 constitutes accepting a huge set of risks, physical as well as reputational. Such an abnormal racing time, 1,100 miles in one day, puts huge stress on a driver's body, regardless of how good they may be. There's also the mechanical toll. The logistics of switching from an Indy car to a stock car in just hours are already complex. A single delay, injury, or mistake could derail Larson's entire weekend. And if he fails in both races, it won't just be a personal setback. It could reflect poorly on the entire Hendrick team. Sponsors don't invest in drama. They want podiums and points. And if Larson's pursuit of history turns into a high-profile flop, questions will land squarely on Jeff Gordon's desk. That might explain why, according to some insiders, Gordon is running out of patience. When you lead one of the most dominant teams in NASCAR history, distractions aren't just unwanted, they're unacceptable. Allowing a star driver to split focus might be a bet too big, even for someone as confident as Gordon. According to Insider Buzz, Jeff Gordon has not been thrilled with Kyle Larson's split focus this season. In a recent internal meeting, whispers suggest Gordon expressed deep concern over Larson's priorities, reportedly calling the decision to chase the double a distraction from the Cup Series championship mission. While Gordon has remained professional in public, team sources hint that behind closed doors, he's shocked Larson would risk the season's momentum for a side pursuit. Hendrick Motorsports has spent years rebuilding dominance in NASCAR, and Gordon, now vice chairman, is determined to keep that edge sharp. This isn't about ego, it's about commitment. NASCAR veterans know that titles are won with focus, consistency, and attention to detail. The fact that Larson is risking all of that, even with his undeniable talent, might be testing the trust placed in him by leadership. Jeff Gordon built his legacy by putting team goals above personal ambition. Now, watching Larson put his body and season on the line for a dual series dream could be striking a nerve. Whether or not he said it aloud, many close to the team believe Gordon is silently bracing for impact and hoping that this bold move doesn't backfire in the worst way possible. The racing world is buzzing and divided. On one side, fans are thrilled, calling Larson's attempt historic and a throwback to real racing grit. Social media is full of admiration for his ambition. But the other side, not so optimistic. Critics argue it's reckless, a glory grab that endangers his NASCAR season. Media pundits are just as split. Some celebrate the drama, others question Hendrick's leadership for allowing this to happen during a critical stretch of the Cup Series. The buzz is undeniable, but whether it turns into glory or disaster remains to be seen. Jimmy Johnson's return to racing has been met with celebration and nostalgia. He's a legend coming back for love of the sport, and fans respect that. Larson, however, is in a very different boat. While Johnson is adding to his legacy with nothing to lose, Larson is still building his. Taking such a huge risk in the middle of a competitive season feels premature to some. Johnson's comeback is seen as legacy-driven. Larson's stunt is seen as potentially careless. It's a clear contrast between a veteran's graceful return and a rising star pushing the limits of what his team can tolerate. If things go wrong for Larson, the consequences could be severe. Missing the Coca-Cola 600, crashing out of the Indy 500, or suffering an injury could hurt more than his pride. It could damage his career trajectory. Larson's reputation as NASCAR's most versatile talent could take a hit. Worse, internal trust at Hendrick could erode. Contract talks might shift. Sponsors might reconsider their bets. Even if he avoids disaster, a poor performance could overshadow an otherwise brilliant season. When the stakes are this high, there's no middle ground. He either becomes a hero or leaves fans and teammates wondering, was it worth it? One of the most daring moves in racing history is about to unfold. Will Kyle Larson rise and etch his name into legend? Or will Jeff Gordon's quiet warning prove prophetic? All eyes are on race day, and the clock is ticking on a weekend that could define or destroy Larson's 2025 season.